Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the arena. Today we've got Bant Flash. So previously, during the VIP, what's it called, the streamer event of Theros Beyond Death, we actually, um, it was not a surprise that people were coming up with Flash versions of, or well, Theros versions of the previous or the current. It's because it's still pretty as current Simic Flash, but they've made versions of the Bant Flash, and here we have one for you guys. It's pretty similar, except we've added a few cards that probably may add more. I still sort of think that the OG Simic Flash is kind of better. Until they can find like a better version of this, but this is just, it's a lot more interesting to have cards in combination with Flicker of Fate and Frilled Mystic, because it's so interesting to have that sort of combo. So we've got Omen of the Hunt. The three most new cards aside from the land, Scry land, that we have in this Bant Flash is Omen of the Hunt, which allows you to draw cards. Not really. It allows you to search your library for a basic land and then put it on the battlefield immediately. So that's an extra land for you. And we all know that for control decks, counter spells, and all that, we need to have a hefty amount of land in our mana pool. We need a lot of mana so that we can cast on our turn, and then we can counter spell on the next. And sometimes if we have to, we can counterspell twice on our opponent's turn. So that's what the whole thing of Bant Flash is. It's sort of to make it more efficient at the cost of losing Teferi, baby Teferi, Time Reveler. But I never really felt that in the Bant Flashes, in the Bant counter control spells, whatever. I never really felt that Teferi would have been useful for then. Maybe if you were up against Mirror Match, if this whole counter spell control thing becomes more prominent, then maybe Teferi will be something that we probably have to work on. But now we have these. So Thasala or Thasa's Intervention is such a great counter spell, as it is kind of it's very flexible. You can counterspell unless its controller pays X twice of X. So it's such a valuable counterspell wherein you can customize its ability to counter spells and render your opponent useless depending on how much mana they have. At the same time, you can also sort of scry, and then you can also draw two. So it's scry and draw two as an alternative. But what's really interesting is the combination of Flicker of Fate and cards like Frilled Mystic and Nightpack Ambusher. So let's say you've got Nightpack Ambusher on the board. Your opponent is going to destroy it. You can always Flicker of Fate and sort of have your Nightpack Ambusher disappear and then come back immediately on that after that turn, and ultimately just wasting the removal that your opponent has used trying to get rid of your Nightpack Ambusher. Additionally, you've got cards like Frilled Mystic that upon entering the battlefield, they can counter target spells. So let's say you already countered a spell. You don't have enough mana to let's say cast Absorb, and your opponent isn't casting a spell. Your opponent is casting a target spell. Counter target spell. You get the difference. So what do? You've got Frilled Mystic on the board. You've only got 2 mana, 1 white, 1 extra, and you've got Flicker of Fate in your hand. So your opponent casts a spell, and you have to counter it because you need to counter twice. So cast Flicker of Fate on your Frilled Mystic, and you get 2 counter spells at the same time. So there's all of that sort of dynamic going on. And of course we have 23 land because we have sort of fetch and draw ability. We have a lot of draw ability cards here, and we also have some fetch cards, draw, fetch, scrying. So there's no problem with having 24 lands just pray that RNG doesn't screw you over on your, your first hand. So there you go, where we have it. Bant Flash. I'll see you guys into gameplay. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Around. Has some pretty interesting. Hallowed Fountain. It's such a flexible card. Like, you can say for instance you put down Night Pack Ambusher, you don't have a counter spell, but you do have Flicker of Fate. Your opponent casts, like, I don't know, maybe a Murderous Rider and on your Night Pack Ambusher, and you have that 2 mana for Flicker of Fate. You can just flicker your Night Pack Ambusher out of the way. Not good. Probably this. We don't need this, or this is too much a value card for endgame. You do Growth Spiral. Another thing is, if you're playing whatchamacallums, if you're playing something like all kinds of Esper, you can include Flicker of Fate, have Yarok Fenlurker go down on the board, and you instantly just move, like, for the cost of. It's an interesting combo if you really need it. I'm not saying that it's a power play. You need it. Right? Omen of the Hunt. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this one allows me to search for a basic card. Has flash. Is it gonna smack me? Yeah. I think we can put down Night Pack without it. But I don't feel secure. Oh yeah, we can. But do we want the ramp? See, Omen of the Hunt is such a wonderful ramp card, especially if it's combined with Flicker of Fate. Because then you just he's got counters. I can almost. That also means that he has to counter them. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the ramp. I have a lot of things that I can do. Get that white down. We'll have 6 by the next turn. He's only doing 1 damage. We got Frilled Mystic. What is this? Sacrifice and fight for 2. I think that's what all these kinds of enchantments do. We can Flicker of Fate, gain that sort of advantage, but we do have Frilled Mystic now, so comboing this with that may not be the best option. Yeah. Oh shit! He's got lots of land. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can have 2. Or like I said, we might be able to pull it off. Right. Sure. What you gonna do? I know you have the counter spell. Oh, you do. Maybe I can. Make sure that this next turn is something good. There's that's. I'm still alive. I'm still here. In a battle of, like, counters, he who has the more mana is the winner. That's why he's not putting any. He's been trying to go for land. That's what he's been trying to do. almost like 100% positive. He just has the advantage. You, no thank you. That Omen of the Dead. There's the battlefield. Return target creature card from your hand. I'm sorry. And boom. Booyah! See? And that is why Simic Flash is going to rule! Gets his 3. We have Angel of Grace on it. Put that down. Anytime. Opens. Search your life for up to 3 lands, reveal them, put them in hand, and shuffle. Looking for land. Playing Bant Ram. Probably has mass manipulation. That's what it I will. Sorry, not sorry. Okay. And in Arco.
From the smallest ant to the largest hydra, nature is beautiful. Stomping time.
He leaves himself. If a creature would deal combat damage, iron skill Hydra. And that. Go. Right, that was good. Good.